Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Today I want to do a review on the new Simon Fairweather called the Fairweather Tab. Just been released from Simon Fairweather, so it's new out. What's different about it? It's using kangaroo leather, which to me is very much like Cardovan leather, maybe not as thick as Cardovan. It uses plastic, and Simon has a name for it, urethane or something, but basically plastic. Two plastic plates. They have these little ridges in them, so basically it clips together. Now it comes with 3 bits of Cardovan, sorry, 3 bits of kangaroo. Now on Simon's website, so if you Google Fairweather tabs, he's got a little bit about the Cardovan. He says it's more uniform than Cardovan. To me, it's very, very similar to Cardovan. Now, this is my tab. This is Cardovan. It feels very, very similar. Now, this is the SF tab. They use Cardovan here, and they use a softer leather on the back. Now, Simon, in his write-up of this tab, he's using the same leather for front and back, and he says it's very flexible and very soft. So you've got 3 pieces of the same leather. One side of the leather is smooth and the other side's a little bit rough, I suppose. Now normally the back of the tab is rough for your fingers. Now the way Simon set this up is it's smooth front and back, so basically front and back's basically the same. So basically it clips together like so. Now the price point on this is about 100 Australian dollars. That compares to other top line tabs like the Wireless Win and Win tab, which is I think about 120, which is a machined tab. Now in building this tab, Simon, and I probably need to talk a little bit about Simon if people don't know about Simon. Simon says that you don't need a heavy tab to shoot well. So a lot of the tabs out there are made out of brass, and the concept is that the heavier weight makes the follow through better. That's not what Simon thinks with this, and that's why he's come up with the plastic. The other parts that the reason why he's gone to use plastic is he said in the heat it doesn't get hot, and in the cold it doesn't get cold. Where if you've got a metal tab like this, it gets cold and hot. So that's his reasoning for it. Now I've seen these tabs be used in Korea in the freezing cold. I shot in Canberra and I never had an issue with the metal. I think probably part of the reason is metal's not really touching your hand, so it's away from your hand. But anyway, that's what he said. Now what's unique about this tab, it comes with a finger spacer. So it comes in 3 sizes, small, medium and large, and also extra large. Now the sizing on this plate here, I'm going to get this, large is 68 millimeters from there to there, medium is 64 millimeters from there to there, and small is 60 millimeters from there to there. Now I normally shoot a medium tab. This is a large tab. So I'm going to compare the large Win and Win tab to the large Simon tab. Now you'll see the difference in the width is that. Now I'm going to grab the medium Win and Win tab, which I shoot, and I'll try and line them up, and they're absolutely identical. So the medium Win and Win is the same as a large Fairweather tab, so just bear that in mind. Now these little things here, these are the spacers. Now Simon, Olympian, and I'll just talk a little bit about him. He got a degree in jewelry and he makes rings and jewelry. Now, what he did when he designed this tab is he made this little ring which goes on your finger, like so, in different sizes. Now, it comes in sizing 17 to 25 in 1 sizing degree difference. Now, each one of those sizing, I assume it's the sizing for a ring. I don't know much about rings, but on his website, he says sizing of 17 equals 56.5 millimeters around the diameter of your finger. So you put a little bit of paper on your finger, you measure diameter, and that tells you what size ring you need. Now for me, that's a little bit complex. I know it's simple, but it's a little bit complex. My hand's about medium size, so I'll just get a medium ring. So this ring was size 21. I put it on, it felt comfortable. So I don't know if it's too big, too small, but it felt nice. Now it comes with a little screw. So the Fairweather tab comes with that, and you select what size ring you need based on your thing, and then you bolt it together. So it bolts on there like that. Now a bit about the plastic here, the rubber. This is quite flexible. So this is flexible, this is quite tough, and down the bottom it's almost like a two-piece. It's like a two-piece plastic. The bottom's quite kind of hard, and this is kind of flexible, but the spacer part is still quite rigid. Now there was a time when I was shooting a comp and my finger spacer was actually hurting me. I think I hurt my hand, but my hand was bleeding anyway. This spacer feels comfortable to me, and I haven't shot the tab yet. It's literally just come in, and we will shoot it in a second to see how it feels compared to the Win and Win. But to me, this feels really comfortable. Now my fingers, I've been shooting a lot of recurve, and I haven't had any bleeding issues since that comp, and my hands have become stronger, or tougher, I suppose. So basically, once you get used to it, the bleeding stopped and hasn't re-eventuated. So that's the Simon tab, the thing. Now we're going to go down and shoot it. I'll put this together and we'll go down and shoot it and see what I think of it compared to the Win and Win tab. I really like the Win and Win. There's also the KSL tab by Keesik Lee, and there's some others. But we'll go down and compare it and see how it compares dollar for dollar and how it feels, and see which one I like better. Thank you. Okay, we're down here to try out the Fairweather tab. I've just bolted it together. It feels good on the hand. Now in Simon's instructions, he recommends wetting the tab with hot water to get the shape in the first time. Now I haven't done this. I've never seen that sort of said before. He said it dries out and it's fine and it'll develop its shape a lot quicker. But I tend not to follow instructions. Now a bit about Simon. He was 14 years old when he started archery. He actually started at the same archery club as I did in South Australia, Southern Vales. When he started, I was actually Australian champion at that stage, so I actually didn't ever actually shoot with him. He started with compound, went to recurve in 4 years. I think he won like Australian championships as a senior. He won the world titles. He went on to win gold medal at the Sydney Olympics. I was actually there, watched him win the gold medal. But I've never really crossed paths with him at all, because I kind of went out of the tournament side and then I went to ACT, Canberra, to shoot. But yeah, he's had a very big number of championships he's won in Australia. I think it's 11. That's what he says on his website, but he's won lots and lots of shoots. So he's a world-class archer. I think they ranked him in the world as one of the best archers in the world. I think 11th overall, but that's just from the top of my head, and you can correct me. But anyway, he's a very successful archer, shot lots as a kid. He comes from Strathalbyn up in the hills here, shot a lot, then he went to the AIS, was the Australian coach. Now, some things about this tab I find interesting. The shelf's really, really simple. It's built into the plastic, so you can't adjust it. Now, why this may not look good, to me, I don't really want to adjust the shelf, and to me it's pretty simple. With the Win and Win tab, the Win and Win people say some people shoot like that, some shoot like that, and this is comfortable either way. So for me, it's fine the way it is. The question to me is, how does it feel compared to the Win and Win tab? And if you're going to spend $100 on a finger tab, how's it going to last compared to the KSL tabs? How's it going to last compared to the other expensive tabs on the market? And is it going to shoot better and feel better? Now, currently, a guy from Netherlands, sorry I forgot his name, Van der Berg, is shot in the Olympics, is shooting one of these tabs, and shoots quite well with it, young guy. So no question in my mind this will shoot okay. The question is more which tab's better and which one feels better in the hand, and whether you want the adjustability of the SF tab. Now, the SF tab also has a plate for your palm to push it into your palm. This does not. So it's a matter of whether that palm thing adds anything or not. So let's just have a couple of shots with it and see what it sort of feels like. Now, to start off with, when I grip it, now Simon says about putting hot water on the tab. It's definitely a lot tougher than my existing Wireless tab. You can feel it straight off, like the thickness, it feels a lot thicker. Now the wireless tab is only 2 layers, one of cardovan, which is quite a thick material, and one of the soft leather, where this is 3 layers of kangaroo leather, so significantly harder, and I feel a lot less string in the shot. So I feel a lot less string. Now I'm shooting 45 pounds on my recurve. I feel a lot less string sensitivity with this tab than I do with the Win and Win I currently shoot. Now for higher poundage bows, to me that's a good thing, but if you're shooting lower poundage, you'd have to take off some of these layers of leather. So you're probably going to go to a 2-layer tab. Now my other thing is the gap distance from one side of leather to the other side is really close to the knock. If you're using a fatter knock, so you're not shooting a pin knock, you're using a traditional knock, like on a jazz shaft or something, the gap here is going to be too small. So I'm shooting pin knocks. I'm just going to grab a knock so you can see the distance. I'll push it through the back. The distance, that knock actually touches either side. Now with my Win and Win tab, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So now I don't know if Simon cuts his tabs when he shoots. I mean, a far better recurve shooter than I am. But to me, that's a distinctive difference straight away. So felt quite good. Like the ring thing didn't move on my finger. The tab felt comfortable. Now what's also interesting to me, so my arrows are shooting a lot higher. Now that's to do with the shelf or something where I lock under my jaw. So this shelf is obviously bigger than the other one because my arrows are shooting high. Now my arrows are also shooting to the right compared to the Win and Win tab. And when I say to the right, we're shooting close to 18 meters, and normally I kind of hit the gold. These are shooting off into the 7. Now the arrows are touching, but they're high and to the 7. So for some reason, maybe me today, like, I don't know why, but the arrows are touching each other, so let's just shoot a couple more. Like, it feels good. Like, I don't mind the tab at all. I went for size 21 in the ring. Now he does sell these little ring things separately. Now it's interesting. So when I brought the tabs, let's say I brought 10 tabs. I brought more than that, but let's say I brought 10. He supplied me about 20 of the rings, which I didn't actually order any of. So I'm assuming that he thinks that people will buy the ring and then want to buy a different size up or down. Now I went for size 21. I would probably go for 22 and just check to see how I like the feel of it. The space from the back sells for about $33. So tab sells for 100, space is 33.
Can you, I just know you can drop me.
That one pulled away a little bit. Definitely missing the touch because of the thickness of the tab, which is not a bad thing. When I first started shooting recurve, I had lots of finger problems with calluses, and my fingers just were not strong enough for the poundage of the bow. So the 3 layers is definitely a good thing for a person who's not shooting all the time. Just going to shoot a couple more, and that's boring. But like, if you get the ability to go to an archery shop and try out finger tabs, lots of archery shops won't let you try them because once they've tried, you they can't be sold basically. And like, this is $100 tab, so most shops won't want you, especially if you're left-handed, to come and shoot all the different size tabs. Now, for me, this is large. With the Win and Win gave me a whole bunch of tabs in different sizes, so for customers coming to my shop, they can try them out. And I pulled this one out of the pack, so I figured I can give this one to people to try. It's an average size, large. But if you're small and you want to go in and try it in an archery shop, I can understand an archery shop saying no, because if you choose not to buy it, they're left with a $100 object they can't sell. So that one pulled a little bit too in the ring. I could feel like it's comfortable. And when you train finger tabs, it's a personal thing, and a lot of it takes time. I didn't know about the Win and Win tab when I first got it. I was shooting a cheaper tab, but now I've been shooting it for 6 months. I really, really like it. And I think the same thing with the Fairweather tab. The more you shoot it, the more you'll like it. Crunch. So overall, my assessment of the Fairweather tab, I'm interested about the spacing between the two bits of leather, the gap for the knock, because I find my knock touches, and I don't know if that's going to affect my arrows up and down or not. I've found with the Win and Win tab, I do get a slight up and down movement if the tab's not sitting exactly right. So for me, that'd be a question, and I have to shoot it to see whether I open up that gap a little bit. I mean, I haven't shot enough. I've only shot this number of arrows, but it's quite comfortable. The leather is good. It's silky smooth on the back, which is different to a normal finger tab, which is generally quite rough and soft on the back. But overall, I like it. I like the ring things. I'm doing this because it kind of sticks to your finger, and you can't, to pull it off, it's like a ring to pull it off. You can see my finger, so it may be too tight, but overall it's not a bad little tab. $100. You might have to buy another one of these to try out different size rings for your finger, but not a bad little tab if you're serious in recurve archery. Once again, unless you shoot a lot, buying this is not going to improve your score. Shooting lots and lots of arrows, having the right arrows, is going to improve your score. But overall, if you're looking for a nice tab, lots of leather to protect your fingers, the Fairweather tab, made by a legend in archery, I think it's pretty cool. And definitely, if people are walking in my shop and looking for a top of the line tab, this will be one of the first ones I throw on the table for them to look at, because I think it's quite good. Kangaroo's kind of cool. And this ring thing's kind of cool too. I don't mind it. Am I going to be shooting this one or the Win and Win in 2 months? We'll see. I've got them both out now, so I'll basically shoot this for a few weeks and see how it goes, see how my scores go. But once again, it still gets back to the number of arrows you shoot. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Enjoy your archery and shoot lots of arrows. Thank you very much. Bye.